Welcome back. So we just created an animation controller. We just dragged it to the John Lemon GameObject, and that's good. This is a very important step. Without it, John Lemon won't be able to move. Click the Save button at the top of the Scene window. You may need to select the Scene tab to do this. Click the Save button at the top right of the Scene window. Save. Huh. I don't know where the Save button is, though. Let's go back into Assets. Let's go back into Prefabs. Let's go back to John Lemon. Because I think we were supposed to still do that. Save. Oh, okay, I see what I did wrong here. I believe I did wrong. Let's go to that. Let's go to this. Let's go ahead and... Can we delete that? I don't want to delete it from the Assets folder, though. Can I delete it? Okay, it says none, right? So now let's actually go back into Prefab. No, that's, right. Let's go back to the Prefabs, go back to John Lemon Prefab. Let's go ahead and drag. Now let's go into Animation, Animators. What? I didn't... I want the Prefab. Right? And I want the... Why is it showing up in the inspector? That's not what I want. What? The game object in the hierarchy. Fine, we'll just do it this ways. Now click the scene, now click save. I don't know why. Alright. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but I guess really I just wanted to make sure I saved it on the prefab. See, because what it says is it says to go to the scene window and click the save button at the top right in the scene window, right? So now the save button is in the prefab, not in the other part of the hierarchy. Let's see what this says here. Let's see if I can find the John Lemon animation controller. Select the John Lemon game object in the hierarchy. Then drag the animator controller to the controller property of its animator component in the inspector. See, I can't, see, this is what I did, right? Now, if we go to, maybe I should have did it under here. So animators, and then I could have just dragged it over that way. So I guess that works. Anyways, let's just go on because I got what I needed done. Make your character react to physics. Character is going to be navigating around a haunted house with different rooms and corridors to explore. As he's not a ghost, it's important to make sure that he can't walk through walls. In order to do this, you're going to make sure that the John Lemon Prefab reacts to physics. Open John Lemon Prefab for editing in Prefab mode. Okay, so I am actually in Prefab mode right now. And if the walking doesn't work, that means that the animation controller should be on the GameObject and not on the Prefab. So we'll see if. But the way I take it is now every instance of the John Lemon controller will be controlled by that. So that's probably fine. In the inspector, you'll find two components: a transform and an animator. Right. In order to react to physics, your character needs two more components: a Rigidbody and a collider. A Rigidbody component marks a game object as something that is part of... Let me do something here. Okay. As part of the physics system that can move. Since you definitely want your character to be able to move, we want them to bump into walls, therefore be part of the physics system. As the John Lemon game object needs a rigid body component. Click Add Component. Right? And you want to go to Physics and probably rigid body. Search. Right. So rigid body. Okay. Select the type and select this from the options that appear. This is a 3D project, so make sure that you click on the rigid body, not rigid body 2D. If you accidentally add a component, you can remove it using the component context menu. The cog in the component's upper right corner. Okay. Right, so I can remove that. Save your work on the John Lemon Prefab so far to make sure nothing gets lost. Okay. Now you have given the John Lemon Prefab a rigid body component. It will react to physics effects such as gravity. Let's enter play mode and see that in action. Return to the main scene by clicking on the scenes at the top of the scene view and press the play button on the toolbar. Okay, so let's go to scenes right there. Okay, actually let's go ahead and save this too, and then let's go ahead and play it just to see what happens. Is it going to fall through? Yep, he is. That isn't quite right. The character falls a short distance, then stops. Press the play button again to exit. I wonder something here then. Let's back away a little bit, and let's save it, and let's hit play again. Because it says he stops a little ways, but it doesn't look to me like he's stopping. Alright. Let's place him a long ways. And let's hit play again. But he's not stopping. It's being caused by the animator. The third property on the animator component is apply root motion, which is currently enabled. Apparently it's not. Okay, so let me do something then. I guess I'll have to kind of mess with stuff a little bit. Let's go to the John Lemon Prefab. Right? And let's go ahead and let's remove this. And let's go ahead and save that. Then let's go back to scenes here. Let's go to the animator and let's put that on the John Lemon object like this and save it and see what happens when I do that there. Okay, so I was supposed to put the animator on the John Lemon game object, not the prefab, which is kind of interesting. But now it works like it's like this is saying. See, when it said to save it, it's not, you know. How do I get, wait a second, how do I get to, oh, John Lemon, no. How do I get back into the prefab? Actually, I have to click on the prefab and then click open because right now it's closed. Okay, I got it. This being caused by the animator. The third property of the animator component is apply root motion, which is currently enabled. Okay, so apply root motion. What is root motion? Animations are used to move and rotate all of the game objects within a particular hierarchy. Most of these movements and rotations are done relative to their parents. However, the parent game object of the hierarchy has no parent, and therefore their movement is not relative. The parent game object can also be called the root. And this movement is therefore called the root motion. Important note, the game object called root in the John Lemon prefab hierarchy refers to the root of its skeleton. That makes me wonder something here. So let me go back to the John Lemon prefab, because now it's talking about the prefab again. Let's go into the prefab, apply root motion there. Huh. That was already set there. Game object called root in the John Lemon's prefab hierarchy refers to the root of its skeleton, not its actual root game object. The root game object is whichever game object the animator component is on. In this case, the game object called John Lemon. Apply root motion is enabled on your animator component, so any movement of the root in the animation will be applied every frame. Since the animator is playing idle, there is no movement, so the animator will apply no movement. So why does the John Lemon game object move at all? This is due to the update mode of the animator. Okay. Let's go back to scenes. Alright. What is the update loop? Okay, so I'm actually going to stop there. I should have stopped already, of course. It's always hard to get your time exact because you're just into something and you can't just stop or whatever. Anyways, I will catch you on the flip side.